Yo, what's going on, guys? Today's video is going to be much more raw than usual, just a lot less editing. I want to focus on sharing what I've learned over the last 4 years in my trading journey. And yeah, it was 2 years of learning and then 2 years of learning and earning. That's what happens, boys. Once you learn the game, you don't just learn and you don't just earn. You do both. So, firstly, clarity. So this is like one of the most important things I've noticed in my personal trading and in a lot of people's trading. I notice this pop up very often, and that's why they're not profitable. When you lack clarity, it's very easy for you to just be a feather in the wind and trade any and every strategy. And in order for, or what's worked for me to be profitable is sticking to one, right? So find whichever strategy works best for you or that has worked best for you and really find a way to systemize it and just stick to that strategy day in and day out. Know exactly what you're looking for. Be clear with it. Be clear with what you're looking for. Be clear with how you're going to manage your risk, with what your approach is, with how you prepare to even get into the market in the first place, what you do before you arrive to the market. And yeah, that's clarity, guys. So super important. The biggest, most important factor, in my opinion. Without that, you're not really going to go far because you're just going to be everywhere and you're not really going to let one edge build your profits, right? You're going to be everywhere. And that doesn't really work in this game. Of course, at some point, once you have a clear strategy and a clear system, now you can add a bit of discretion. And that's where you really start to up the numbers and up the scalability of your trading. However, if you don't have a strategy, focus on that. And then with time, you can shift a little more discretionary, but you need to earn that. So that's number one, guys, clarity. Number two is definitely understanding that there is no golden nugget. This is a reason why a lot of people lack clarity is because they're actually hunting for that golden nugget when in reality there is no golden nugget. The golden nugget is actually finding that strategy that works for you, managing your risk appropriately, allowing your winners to win and adding to those winners, and cutting those losses quickly, or just managing your risk appropriately so a loss isn't wiping you out entirely or just a heavy percentage of your account. All right, boys, Editor Rick here. I need to add that just because I'm saying something doesn't mean it's the right way. In trading, you also have to learn that there is no one way to do anything. Take the advice anybody gives at face value. If it works for you and your approach, apply it. If it doesn't, just throw it out the window. But yeah, back to the video. But also understanding that at some point, you've learned enough. And you eventually get to the point where instead of taking in more information, you have to actually cut out information or habits. At some point, cutting stuff out becomes more profitable than adding stuff to your trading. Thirdly, guys, is learning to avoid trading like the 90%. So when you arrive to the market, really prioritize not trading like them, right? The 90% being the losing traders. When you prioritize not trading like the 90%, in that process, you end up in the 10%, probably even smaller, probably 5% actually. But you end up in that 10% or in that 5% because you're really thinking, you're focusing on not trading like those 90%. What are some mistakes they make? They enter a winning position and the market agrees with them and they just take their profit off. Why? Because they don't want to, they're fearful that the market's going to take the profit back when clearly the market's agreeing. So instead of adding to a winning position, they take it off entirely. They just take their little win. Why? Because you can't go broke taking a profit. But what the 90% also does is they move their stop losses or they add to losers when the market is not agreeing with them. So what happens? They just take way larger losses and they're never going to be profitable doing that. So what you want to do is just focus on not trading like them. And what ends up happening is you end up being able to hold your trades way longer all the way until your full TP is hit. You're able to add to those winning trades in the process of your trade getting to that full TP. And you're also able to cut your losses quickly and accept your losses when your stop losses hit instead of moving your stop losses lower. These are probably the top three that stand out to me just from talking to people consistently that are in the space. Those are the top three problems that I've noticed in people. Let me know what you guys think down below. But other than that, boys, it's been your boy Rick's doing it, and I'll see you guys later.